What's up, guys? It's your boy Paul here, coming at you with another video today. So look, today I just got done reading the book called Why, or Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And let me tell you, so even though I have talked about having your why and everything before, I think reading this book, like, instead of like listening to the audiobook, because I listened to the audiobook last year, but reading the book this year and going through it helped me clarify a really, really good point. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. So I've always talked about like having your why. Obviously that's a big thing that's circulating now, like have your why, have your why, have your why. And I've always had my why for myself, right? For anything that I'm doing, I've always had my why for myself. But something that he made a very, very important distinction with, and this actually kind of shaped differently my thoughts on this now, is you need to have a why. Like, so I'm speaking in terms of business now or organization. Like if you lead an organization or if you're wanting to start one or a business, whatever. In terms of having a why for the company, okay? And I don't know why, maybe I'm like, I don't know why I just now noticed this difference, but I've always thought, you know, if I want to build something big, I got to have my why for it. This makes sense. But then when I was thinking about different companies, their why is their unification. Like, it's what unifies them from the top down for why they're doing what they're doing. And you know what was interesting about that is, I said a why that I come up with for a company is probably not going to be the same exact why that I come up with for myself. And so I started thinking about like, hey, could I really get behind something that is not my ultimate why, but it would be the company's ultimate why? And, I thought about that, and I thought about like how important that was and I was like, yes, I could. Because ultimately, if I'm going to decide to be part of a company anyways, or an organization anyways, ultimately that thing still serves my why in some way, shape, or form, or else I wouldn't decide to do it because it's still under my why. So it's almost like a hierarchy. And so then I was like, oh, this is actually really cool, because now I can have different pockets, different organizations, different businesses, whatever, different groups of people that I'm leading, that maybe for this area over here, these people are unified under this cause. And then for this group over here, these people are unified under this cause. But either way, if I'm a part of them, they don't have to agree with necessarily my why, just the company's why. And either way, the organizations that I'm a part of ultimately come up to be in alignment with my why. And I just found that idea extremely fascinating, which is why I wanted to share it with you guys, because I don't know if you are just wanting to do your own gig or not, but for me, I only think in terms of like a lot, like very, very large. So like if I think of back to when I had my business in high school, it was very much owner operated, meaning I just ran the whole thing. Yes, I had people with me, but essentially there was no real mission statement. Obviously I had values to go by and everything like that. But like if I would have like left or anything like that, it would have crashed and burned. There was no one, to take it up, and there was no real vision behind it or anything like that. So it was pretty local, and that's completely okay if that's what you want to have. But this, for me, learning the distinction between the two, not just having a personal why, but also having a organizational and a business why, was transformational for me, because I'm like, yeah, well, how else would you get thousands of people? How else would you get millions of people to, be behind a cause and everything like that? And so, like I said, I wanted to share that with you, because whatever your personal why may be, people aren't going to do a business to follow your why most of the time. They may, but most of the time you're not going to see thousands of people rallying behind your personal why. But if you think about, why does this company exist that I'm starting? Why am I doing this? It provides a much more for the common good of people, or that's what I would guess it would tend to be. The why would operate in terms of for the common good of people, which then you can have thousands or hundreds of people rally behind that, and they all would want to join to it, even if it benefits you a lot because you're the business owner. But if you're talking about, hey, I want to start this business because of financial freedom, okay? Or, hey, I want to start this business so I can provide money for my kids. Do you really think you can have hundreds of people rally behind that personal why? My guess would be no. Now, if you do, okay, great. But my guess would be no. So it's the important distinction between having a personal why and then having a why for the business. And here's what it does, which I really liked what he said, he said, true leadership inspires action. True leadership inspires action. And so I just thought about that. And then he made the distinction between, I think it was Steve Ballmer, I think that's his name, and then Bill Gates. He says Steve Ballmer would come out, he succeeded after Bill Gates as CEO. He'd come out with like a lot of energy, a lot of rah, rah, rah type stuff. And sure, he got people pumped up, but after that was all said and done, people, there was not much like really after the conference. But he then compared Bill Gates, who was more quiet, more introverted, but when he spoke, everyone would just go silent and everyone would just be like focused in. And then, he wouldn't do any rah-rah type stuff, but then when he would leave, people would just be inspired to do more, inspired to take action, inspired, to make the company better, because they all aligned under his why. But then what do we see him doing now? He's doing the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, so that obviously serves his personal why. So the company's why was way different from his personal why. So if you're the type of person who's watching this and still watching this, then you understand what I'm saying with the distinction between having a personal why and having a business why or an organizational why. Because for me, all I did in 2019 was have a personal why. So whatever business you operate, run, whatever nonprofit, whatever it is that you run, don't just think in terms of yourself. Think about the core. Why does this business does not exist just to make money? If it does, there's no way I can get thousands of people behind it. Why does this company exist? What cause, what for the common good of men can I talk about for the why of this company that many people will be inspired by and gladly fall under it and then be inspired to take action because of the vision of why the company was founded. So even if, some financial statements, get a little low and all this other stuff, people don't leave just because finances are like a little tight. They believe in the vision. They are inspired. They want to be with it. They, almost take it on as their own vision. And that's another thing that you got to think about. What's a vision or a cause, aka the why, that you could have that other people would become so passionate about that if you died, they would pick it up and they would keep going? Think about what your company represents to them. Thinking about what your organization symbolizes to each individual person who works there. Why are they there? Are they there just to get their 9-to-5 job and pay the bills because that's what you said, because you just want this company to make money, so you're in it for the same reason that they are, so don't expect them to be loyal? But if you're talking about a vision and a cause, people are going to be there in the hard times. People are going to be there when the company's having trouble. And then here's what also happens, which I think was extremely important. When you have a clear and proper why that you are communicating, now everything that your company does, especially in public, if it's like doing like any good like PR stuff, it now makes sense for why you guys do those things. But if you guys are just there to make money, or it's a very, very, I would say, weak why, the stuff that you do will just get mentioned once or twice. Oh, that was nice of them. But then that's it. But if you want your company to sit even with people who aren't your customers and who aren't your employees, you have to communicate clearly why you exist and why you guys will make a difference for whatever it is that you're trying to do, no matter what niche you're in. Okay? So I wanted to make that distinction. Let me know down in the comments below if that helped. If you have thought about it like this before, if you were flipped of me, maybe you always had the business why, but you didn't have a personal why, or maybe you were like me and always had the personal why, but didn't so much have the business or organizational why. And let me know your thoughts if like that's a, different thought than what you've heard before. And if you have heard it before, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm obviously late to the train. But yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And as always, stay tuned for the next video. All right, I'll see you guys.